everyone. I just need to pop in this bit of information before we jump into the reaction I just got done recording. With an apology. These are always fun. I accidentally recorded the audio input and output during this reaction. Normally I just record the audio input from my microphone, so it picks up me, it picks up the episode playing out the speakers from my laptop that I watched the episode on. But with the output as well, that's recording just the sound coming from the laptop. So the result is the episode audio is incredibly loud and you can barely hear me. So anything I'm saying is basically drowned out by the sheer volume of the episode. So, yeah, I fucked up. Fucking idiot. As I always do. So I'm really sorry about that. I've not only just ruined the reaction, basically, because I'm just basically inaudible. I'm going to try and salvage something together of a reaction for you guys. But what I've actually done is kept you waiting for a year. For the last episode of season 5, which is going to be my last reaction to Once Upon a Time, and I've ruined it. So, well done me. It's another sign to just stop, isn't it? But yeah, I'm really sorry that I've not only done this, for a season finale, but for my last reaction to Once Upon a Time. So, what a shit way to end like a 5-year journey. So I'm so mad at myself. So nothing I can do about it. I can't re-record it because it's a reaction. And yeah, so now I'm just going to cringe my way through editing this to try and get it out. I'm just so annoyed. The introduction and the afterthoughts are fine. The bits people don't care about. Because obviously I didn't have any extra audio playing. It was just me speaking. But yeah, I'm really sorry about that. And I'm especially sorry to the people on Patreon who for some reason are still supporting me. Because I think I'm just going to be inaudible for 44 minutes and then that's that. And that's the journey. So I'm very annoyed, very angry at myself. And I'm just fucking gutted that that's how I've ended 5 years of Once Upon a Time. With that. So I'm sorry, but hopefully you can enjoy something from it anyway. You're just laughing at me being completely overpowered by the episode. But yeah, sorry, but enjoy anyway. Back with more Once Upon a Time. This is episode 23 of season 5. This is the season finale. Hello. So it's been over a year since my last Once Upon a Time reaction. I mean, if you've seen like updates and stuff and you've seen the channel the past year or so, you probably know why it's taken this long to kind of get back into the swing of things. Life's awful, not gonna lie. I've had to move out of my flat, so I don't have the setup and everything I used to. So apologies if things are all like wonky and the quality and stuff isn't as good. I just don't have, the equipment I used to have. I don't have a desk anymore because it doesn't fit in the room that I've moved into. So, I don't really have a proper place to sit down and film like I used to. But yeah, I'm sure most of you are aware, or some of you probably forgotten I even did Once Upon a Time because it was so long ago, so apologies for that. But I'm sure some of you, are aware of the whole situation with things and that, I've kind of stopped doing reactions and stopped doing YouTube really. I've really... The channel stopped doing very well and that knocked my confidence and I just don't think I can really do it now. And, just not have a proper space of my own to record things and to not be able to do this the way I want to do it, the way I used to do it, and, being able to do it for a living, the fact that I can't do that anymore, quite painful really. So, just recording stuff is a reminder of that. So, with that in mind, and because I feel like I can't make reactions the best that they can be anymore, both in terms of just how I feel about myself and my reactions and my abilities and the channel, and you know, the equipment I had to sell or throw away or get rid of, you know, all that kind of production stuff, like a ring light and everything, you know, I just had to get rid of all that because what was the point really? Because of that, this is going to be my last reaction to Once Upon a Time. I thought it was a bit harsh to leave people hanging when there's like one episode left of a season. Maybe if it was like the middle of the season, I wouldn't have bothered, but there's only one episode left of this season. It feels nice to maybe fully wrap that up. Just so it feels like there is sort of an end point to these. It's not the ideal situation for me, believe me. And I'm sure a few guys who have watched these reactions since the start, I really am sorry that you're not going to get the whole show. That's just the way it is. I'll probably watch the show in my own time, maybe. I'd say I'd update my everything on Twitter and my social media and stuff, but I'm probably getting rid of that in the new year. So I'm not even going to promise that. But yeah. It's just, I mean, I'm not going to upset myself talking about it all over again. But yeah. Regardless, let's enjoy one last ride and finish off season 5, which has taken me literal years to do. But yeah, I've rewatched the last couple of episodes to kind of get myself ready. Try, you know, close my eyes when Robin Hood dies, and then just watch the rest. So, you know, I'm ready to dive into this finale and see how they're going to wrap it all up and set up, obviously, season 6 as well. So, you know, it's kind of a bittersweet, kind of melancholy position I find myself in. But yeah, life sucks. What can you say? So yeah, we're gonna do this one last time, one last run of it. But you know, it didn't feel right to leave with only one episode left of a season. You know, it's at least something I can do for the people who've been watching since the start. So here we go, I suppose. I'm very excited to see how they wrap up this season. You know, we have Mr. Hyde causing some trouble, old Sam Witwer causing some trouble. And yeah, all sorts of stuff going down with magic and maybe the end of magic, maybe not. We'll have to wait and see. You know, classic Once Upon a Time finales of everything just exploding everywhere all at once. So I am excited to get into the episode regardless. So here we go. We've all been there. Wild nightmare.
It's like all the realms are once.
We have no idea where your grandfather is.
Actually, I think I do.
Yeah. It's not one for subtlety, is it, that man?
Actually, there is one more thing.
You can die.
Things might get messy here.
Oh, well, that's nice.
It's Granny. Something's happened in Storybrooke. My parents, Hook, and your sister were pulled through some kind of portal. Again? To where Granny is an expert.
The idea of Granny texting is the
Gina?
The heroes convinced her to use the sorcerer's wand, and now they're trapped in another realm.
the realm where Belle might be.
A serum I created, designed to separate the good from the evil in someone. Phil, he knew I was growing it right under his nose.
Actually, he did. Back off!
Oh!
Now let's show the warden what you've done.
Oh. That's close.
David, I think I know what story our good doctor is from.
Dr. Jekyll.
But would like separating them be like he becomes his own person or just destroys him?
I only let you in because I needed this.
Something connected to Zelina so you can find them.
Indeed.
Makes sense. Oh. Yeah. Get that magic. Oh boy. I mean, it's still a lovely decorative piece, you know?
I destroyed magic.
Yay. Okay, here's the music. But why did Jekyll think you needed to do it in secret? Oh boy. Ugh. Now you can get married.
Being separate is what's going to destroy face of me.
Well, I guess the wedding's off.
You risked everything to save us. We had to do the same.
To be clear, I was fine running.
Now.
Have you any idea what you've just done?
Stopped you from hurting my moms and anybody
You
else.
stopped me from rescuing Belle. Not to mention your family, and now trapped in the same realm with her.
What's he talking about? I did what I had to. This isn't on me. It's on you.
Henry,
Oh,
make
ex.
sure he doesn't go far.
Teenagers, alright.
Storybrooke.
You said this was a land without magic.
It is, and it isn't.
Enough with the
course.
riddles. Who has magic?
Well, for that answer, it looks like we're just gonna have to learn to work together now.
And I'll go with Gold. Make sure he keeps his hands off this crystal.
When we lived in New York, this is where we came when you were upset. And I'd give you a penny and tell you to wish your problems away. Remember? Your mom is with Gold to try to find a way. Should we see if they had any luck?
No, I once thought I could contain the darkness to one tiny corner of myself. First for Bellfire, then for Belle. And I always failed. Do you want to know why? Because I
Sure enough,
like
so.
the darkness.
Yeah.
The evil queen is who you are. And the more you keep her locked inside, the more you're gonna suffer.
She needs some of that syrup from Jekyll.
Regina, meet the dragon. Good to see you breathing again.
I see a noble battle deep inside your soul, Regina. Between light and dark. And for that, I will do my best to aid you.
Hey.
For all of us.
To see if the 67 to happen.
I think there's a reason they call this place the land without magic.
Yes, because that's how it appears. There's magic everywhere, if you're willing to see it.
A friend told me a long
Feel
time
it in
ago.
my fingers.
August. Yes.
Oh.
I know who you are.
I like it when they mention August.
Every time someone makes a wish.
I don't think throwing a coin in a fountain is what the dragon was talking about.
All due respect, Grandpa, but I think that was exactly what he was talking about.
Shut up, Grandpa.
So I wished our family would be complete. And do you know what happened a few days later?
Hook came to New York. And he brought us back to Storybrooke, and we were reunited with our family.
It was right here. We just didn't know it. Don't you see?
Wow.
We just need to wish they were back.
Handy, isn't it?
I wish we were reunited with our family.
Is it worth we throw a contactless card in there? Because
Come on. It can't
that's
just
how it
be
is
me.
now.
Sometimes that boy surprises me.
Yeah, perhaps we don't try to
We just
fucking
need
kill
more.
him all the time.
My family's in danger, but we can save them. With magic.
I couldn't handle the crazy.
I know how crazy it sounds. I once let my unbelief waver,
Yes.
but I was wrong.
He's back.
We need magic.
I'm surprised he hasn't been shot
It
yet.
can make the world a better place.
This is why he's the author, because everyone listens to his story. Gold goes around keeping them all up. Yes, I'm rich. Well, that's funny. Make it rain. Oh, Jesus.
They think it was all an act. That none of this was real.
It's okay, Henry. It's the only way they can understand. And for a moment, they believed. For a moment, you
She never used to
did the
believe.
impossible.
Still battling against your better half, I see.
Oh dear.
Well, you do as I ask.
The only deal I'm gonna
Oh.
make with you is the one where you return that box to me, and then I suppose you get to live.
I can help you. Wake Bell! I think it's time that we talk about a deal.
Boy.
Thought you may like something to keep you warm.
Oh, that looks great.
You know I don't do hot cocoa with cinnamon.
I know. Emma told me what's going on with you.
Now we're talking.
Jekyll said he didn't know how to thank us, but he found a way. He grabbed this before we fled the lab. It's the serum that split him from
They
Mr.
are going to
Hyde.
use the serum.
He said,
God,
"I
there going to be
believe
2 Reginas next season.
That this could be
Well,
the end of
Regina
Evil
and
Queen, as
Evil
long as
Queen,
you're
I guess.
sure.
I was there when the evil queen was born. I kind of helped bring her into the world. I want to see you end her.
When you find out who spent all your money.
You need me. I don't.
Oh, taking out her own heart. Savage. Oh gosh, got that much snaps. Hey! Oh, my son, he's all grown up. Better love life I fucking do. Aww. Now Gold appears
Really?
and blows her up.
So, just wanted to say something, when we're not in the middle of a big battle or
Oh,
one of us is
3
facing
little
death.
words.
I love you.
Awesome.
You destroyed the evil queen. How do you feel?
Forever, I expect. Never to return. Ever.
Thank you for that.
Oh, no.
I'd hate to be trapped in this town without magic. I provided him with some information in exchange for Storybrooke.
Excuse me?
Oh, dear.
Storybrooke is mine now.
And I brought some friends.
Darkness is not as easy to snuff out as you might believe.
Don't kill the nice man. Weird shadow thing. Oh, the evil queen. She turns to dust, but now she's just beautiful. Oh boy.
And she may have won the fight. But this is a war. The queen is back.
Oh shit. Okay, that was a really, really great finale. Very interesting setup for next season. I like that. I guess maybe they felt like they'd done all they could do with like Regina's internal battle between the good and evil sides of herself. So they were like, let's make it a physical battle as well. So that's going to be quite something with a Regina and an evil queen. So I guess Lana's just there, portraying 2 characters with a lot of green screen next season, I would guess. So that's an interesting thing. I don't know how the evil queen survived her heart being torn out and crushed, but maybe that's something that they'll explain in the next one. F in the chat for old Graham in season 1. He didn't turn to dust and then just reform somewhere else. So, yeah, we'll see what happens with that. But it was nice to see Regina kind of make like a final decision on that. Obviously, the whole story isn't final because the evil queen did survive. But, that was a great moment for Regina. Like, all those doubters she may have, and people being like, she can never truly be good or whatever. That's proof of how much she changed, and the fact that Snow was there, who she even kind of said like she was partly, she played a role in the evil queen being born in the first place. So for her to be there at the end was really cool. But yeah, to make that choice and be like, I am not only choosing to separate these 2 sides of myself, I'm going to destroy it as well. It just shows how far she's come, which is great. And the fact that she even could, it really wasn't black and white enough for her to split into 2 like that. That shows just how good Regina has become. So again, I just love it when the show does showcase some cool character development, and I thought that was very clever, setting up Jekyll and Hyde in the last episode and the serum and everything to kind of split them into separate entities. And that was a great setup to do this. I assumed they had that idea, and thought then Jekyll and Hyde would be a great way of getting to that. So that was really interesting. I was quite surprised the whole Belle situation still hasn't been resolved. I thought she would have like been woken up and stuff, and we'd have seen that happen. But I guess that's something for next season. But it's interesting that Belle just kind of went into a coma and just slept through most of this season. So I don't know if that was actress availability or something. But yeah, we will see how that unfolds. That felt like, a surprising thing to have carried into next season, but that might be like a necessity for like some behind the scenes stuff. I'm assuming that's what it would be. But yeah, I mean, Gold is the way he is. At least he's open about it now. He's stopped kind of pretending to fight the fight that Regina has. He's just like, I like it. And yeah, making that deal with Mr. Hyde and everything to bring him to Storybrooke and all the other people in his realm, I guess. There was kind of like a merging, I suppose. There's like a whole new lot of people in Storybrooke, it would seem. Maybe there is room for them, because I know a lot of people went back home in the previous episode. So yeah, it does feel like there's this big kind of changing up now, a big shift to the tale, which is cool. I do like that they really did kind of push, I think, and shifted some elements of the show, like magic was put to the test in these last couple of episodes. And how that continues into next season, we'll have to wait and see. Maybe a bit less of Snow and David and Zelina just standing there not really doing anything all episode. That felt like a kind of a shame. At least, Snow got a nice scene with Virginia and everything, but there's just so many characters in the show at this point. It is a shame that some of them just get wasted, and sometimes wasted for seasons on end and then just killed. But yeah, there were a few characters that sadly didn't get as much to do in this one, so hopefully we give like David something in particular a bit more substantial next season. And Violet as well. She kind of just, that whole scene by the fountain when they were making the wishes, she didn't say a bloody word. Everyone else had a line. She just stood there, just vibing. But I do quite like Violet, and I like Henry and Violet together. It's fun to see Henry kind of start really growing up, and I liked him rediscovering the importance of, I guess, magic within himself, and that brought his family together in the first place. So to kind of get them all back using it, to encourage the people of New York walking by with it as well, so they all make a wish. I did like that they just thought it was a magic trick in the end, and like, oh, that's clever, ha ha ha, because that's just their way of kind of dealing with it. Because of course they're not going to believe, that it's real or legit, because they'd have Henry arrested. So I did like that it still did work, and the idea that, when you were younger, you did just believe in magic, and that's something that might change as you get older. That was quite a nice sentiment, I thought, that they could briefly restore enough magic to open a portal by appealing to people. And Henry being the author, he should give a good speech. It makes sense that people would listen to his speeches because, he writes all the shit down. So I liked that, and I've really enjoyed Henry kind of stepping into the role as the author, and he's kind of been at war with another side of himself, I guess. It really felt like Henry this season did shift into like a separate Henry from the one we first met, who was like all about believing in magic and fairy tales and everything. It's kind of like an own, without the actual split or battle in the way that we had with Regina and the Evil Queen. He kind of had that going on within himself as well. And I think he's kind of found a nice peace with that. And, again, he's meant to the side of the believer, I guess, which is cool. So yeah, Henry just continues to be my son, and I really like him, evidently. And yeah, hopefully more stuff for him next season. Maybe we'll see more of his relationship with Violet. So yeah, little things to kind of continue into the next season with that. And Mr. Hyde, I suppose, is sticking around next season, which is great. I like Sam Witwer. I think he's a really good actor. So to see him kind of be an antagonist going into season 6 should be interesting. I assume him and the Evil Queen will probably be like the main threats, at least like if they do like split the season in half again, do like one arc for the first half, one arc for the second, like they normally have done for the past few seasons. I could see maybe him and the Evil Queen being like the antagonists of the first half of the season or something. So yeah, changing up the status quo with that, but I'm more than happy to see more of him. And, you know, Dr. Jekyll's been separated from him successfully, so I guess that's someone else that they can rely on. Whether or not he will keep popping up, we'll have to wait and see. But all that was really good stuff, and I am excited for more of, you know, Mr. Hyde and all that jazz. And Gold going off to rescue Belle has some intel now about waking her up, so that will be something for him to do, I imagine, in the early part of next season, because he's probably still off in that realm right now. Or I suppose Mr. Hyde just gave him the box back, but yeah, we'll see where that leads. And, you know, Emma and Hook being a bit more open about the relationship, settled down again with the idea that he is back from the dead fully. And I did like Emma, again, seizing an opportunity, as many characters did in this one, to be like, you know, just tell him that he loves him just casually, and it's not like we may never see each other again, so I can tell you now. She's willing to just say it casually and just, you know, bask in the consequences of it, rather than, you know, only saying it when she doesn't think there will be any consequences to saying it and there won't be any awkwardness afterwards. So, you know, she's maturing as well, and I'm excited to see where their relationship goes. Got quite tested, particularly in the first half of this season. Well, and the second half, arguably, with him being dead in also half the season. But, yeah, where that leads next should be cool. Yeah, I mean, I want to talk about characters like Zayden and stuff, but they really didn't have much to do this time around. So, you know, where will that lead for them? We'll have to wait and see in season 6. Any other major things I'm forgetting? I forgot to take notes, so kind of probably missing some characters that I want to talk about. I mean, it was a pretty focused kind of deal, really, wasn't it? We had, you know, Snow and Hook and David, and, you know, Dr. Jekyll dealing with Mr. Hyde for that first half. And shout out to Mr. Hyde's assistant, because my God, that is a dedicated worker. That is a fanboy right there. He was relentless in that pursuit. And then, yeah, we had Emma and Regina, Henry, Violet, Mr. Gold, all doing their shtick. So, you know, I did like seeing the land of untold stories was an interesting concept. And now I guess all those people are in Storybrooke. So, you know, it does feel like a bit of a refresh and a revamp, like with the whole, like, Once Upon a Time Volume 2 book we had in the previous episode. You know, they've got a whole bunch of new stories that they can tell now. So there might have been people being like, you know, 5 seasons in, surely they've run out of stories in that bloody book by now. But there's tons of those books, so we're golden. So I like the idea that we're probably going to get a lot of new, fresh faces over the next couple of seasons, now that we have a whole new book of stories to explore. So yeah, intriguing and exciting to see who else might be popping up within, you know, the Once Upon a Time world and their spin on it and everything. Should be cool. So yeah, is that kind of everything? And I did really enjoy the visuals, actually, of when they were making the wishes in the well with the pennies, and the pennies were just falling through into the land of untold stories. That was a great visual. I really enjoyed that, and how that kind of merged them all together. That was great. But yeah, aside from that, I actually quite enjoyed how it was a very, I guess, emotionally driven finale. It wasn't necessarily felt like end of the world, end of Storybrooke consequences, even though it was like potentially the end of magic and, you know, oh no, the family are trapped in another world. But to be fair, you know, half the family have been trapped in a different realm or world or whatever. Quite a lot, you know. It's rare in Once Upon a Time that everyone is in the same place and someone isn't trapped somewhere. So, you know, I guess that wasn't necessarily like the finale level stakes, because that just happens all the time. But I did like that this one felt very kind of understated, I guess, and low-key and personal, the stakes, rather than, you know, there needs to be a big dramatic fight or anything like that. So that was cool. And yeah, it just felt like, you know, we're going to shake things up, we're going to knock the chessboard off the table, and now we're going to reassemble it, but we've forgotten where the pieces went, so everything's all askewed and weird. And I think that's kind of what Storybrooke is now, with a lot of new people and Mr. Hyde being in charge of that, as if Gold could just give Storybrooke away. How dare he? So yeah, quite a few interesting things to explore with season 6. And I think with like the battle of Regina and the Evil Queen, that's just going to go on for the entire show, really, isn't it? But I like that they found a way to continue that on in a way without undoing Regina's character development. Because if people enjoy the Evil Queen, I think Lana clearly enjoys playing the Evil Queen, and she's just so extra and everything, so dramatic. And a show like that definitely needs that at times. So I like that they found a way to still have the Evil Queen in the show, but also honour the character development that Regina's gone through for the 5 seasons. Because otherwise they would probably just have to make her evil again to get the Evil Queen back. And I'm glad that they've continuously pushed away from doing that, especially because that's all they've done with Mr. Gold. It's been like, I've seen the error of my ways, and I'm evil again because I love power. And they've done that with him about 25 gazillion times now. So I like that they've at least stuck to the development of Regina. That was great. So yeah, what shenanigans are they going to get up to in season 6? God bloody knows. What on earth the Evil Queen's plans are going to be and Mr. Hyde's plans are going to be. We'll have to wait and see, but I am excited to find out. I don't know exactly when I'm going to be personally checking out season 6 and 7. I have them available to me. But, I'm not sure. I mean, I always know I wanted to at least react to this last episode for you guys, so that's why it's taken me so long, and I haven't just watched it in my own time up until this point, but now I have the freedom to do it. I might pick and choose every now and again to binge it, I don't know. But, yeah, I guess that's that. Once Upon a Time. Season 5. Finally finished it, only took me like 2 years, but we got there in the end. And, yeah, that is unfortunately the end of my journey with Once Upon a Time in terms of reactions and YouTube and everything. Thank you so much to everyone who's supported these reactions and watched and enjoyed them over the years. Thank you to everyone on Patreon who have enjoyed the full reactions to these over the years as well, and some people who still continue to support me on Patreon. It does mean the world, because times are hard for everyone, and they're very hard for me as well. So yeah, I'm so sad that I'm not really the place in every sense of the word to be able to finish these reactions and do season 6 and 7. But I'm not going to promise that I'll be back, because I'm not going to. But yeah, this was a staple of my channel for a long time. When the channel really started taking off was when I'd started Once Upon a Time, because I'd started that along with Buffy and Firefly, and The 100 as well. So this really feels like an ending now, because The 100 came and went, and that ended in like 2020 or something. So I'd already finished that. I'd already finished Firefly fairly quickly after I started, because it's quite a short show. The Buffyverse ended as well on the channel. So this was like the last show from that era, that sweet spot of when life was good for me, that's now kind of done. That really does feel like a final end. So yeah, it makes me sad that we're not going to be finishing this off, because I do hate leaving things like this unfinished and leaving a series unfinished, but at least when we were this close to finishing up a season, I wanted to get that watched for you. And fuck, I'm gonna have to edit this. I've forgotten how to edit. Shit. We'll find a way. One last copyright strike for old time's sake, I expect. But yeah, just a huge thank you. I really am grateful to everyone who has enjoyed these reactions over the years, who has been very patient when things have been slow. And yeah, I'm sorry that we're not going to be doing the last 2 seasons together. But yeah, turns out YouTube didn't want me anymore, so it is, that's the way of it. But yes, before I get too sad, we're going to leave it there. But just, I'm incredibly grateful for everyone who's stuck around for as long as they have, or has dipped in and out of these reactions and tuned in every now and again. I've really enjoyed the show. I've loved being able to share my reactions with all of you, and I'm sure I will continue to enjoy season 6 and 7. I mean, I've heard very mixed things about season 7. So I guess I'll see how I feel about it when I get to it. But yeah, that is an ending of sorts in many ways with this. So yeah, thank you all for watching. I won't see you next time. I was about to say that, but yeah, just thanks for everything. And I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have, I guess. So thank you very much, and see you.